Um,
Hello, my lovely human beings. It's your girl Blessing, and welcome back to my channel. I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm still figuring it out. Anyway, thank you for coming back. This is my third video about Record of Youth. I'm going to talk about episode 3. If you haven't seen my previous videos, you can check somewhere up here. There'll be a thing, or down below in the description. So we're gonna do a recap, like I said before, and then the review. The recap won't cover everything, but it'll cover what I think was necessary. Let's go right into the recap. In this episode, we see Haeho and Heejun during a photo shoot. Heejun finds out he only got the photo shoot because of his friend, which visibly bothers Heejun. Later, when Haeho says to meet up later with his rich buddies, Heejun says he's not interested. Heejun explains that he knows Haeho is trying to help him, but it hurts his self-esteem. Next, we see Jongha having a difficult time with the bride she's doing makeup for. It was a gig she got from Heejun to quote-unquote beat Jinju, and getting scolded has put her in low spirits. Boss Lady meets Heejun and says she'll be his manager and asks him to postpone his enlistment. He's stubborn and says he's made up his mind. Jongha messages Heejun about being in low spirits after doing the bride's makeup, and Heejun tries to cheer her up and they decide to meet up. They go to this super huge bookstore or library, and it's very gorgeous. I loved it. They go for coffee, and Heejun's grandpa calls and asks if he's found him any work. Heejun introduces Jongha to grandpa. Ooh. When the call ended, Heejun talks about his grandpa trying to be a model back when he was younger, but got scammed since he was very trusting of people. As they leave, Heejun quickly buys an umbrella for Jongha, and they head over to their bus stop. Jongha notices that Heejun is quite a smooth talker and asks if he has an active dating life. Girl, nice segue. Heejun then discloses that he tends to have long and serious relationships, and the 2 times he's dated someone, it happened to be with the same girl. Jongha is shocked by his willingness to talk about his personal life and says that he's telling her too much. He says he feels comfortable around her and then asks if she has dated anyone, which she very loudly says, "Of course I have. Methinks one doth protest too much, She says that she has had a lot of short relationships and she gets bored easily, which he calls BS, and says she's probably worried about getting hurt. Interesting. Switching the subject, Jongha expresses her hatred of rainy days because it makes her feel alone. Heejun says he'll call her when it rains so she's not alone. Oh my. Not being able to handle his cheesiness, she books it to her bus stop. Heejun meets her at the bus stop and she promptly pokes fun of him. And he says, "I can't let that slide." And then he proceeds to give her his scarf, like, yes. And then we see this super romantic rain shot. It's gorgeous. We then see Jongha helping an older gentleman with his makeup. And he says that he's a model that started in his mid-60s. They started bonding, which irked Jinju, so she interrupts them to talk about the photo shoot. Hearing about the demand for senior models made Jongha think of Heejun's grandpa. Haeho sees Jongha at the salon and asks her to do his makeup, even though she can't since she's still an assistant. Haeho pressures the salon into having her do his makeup, asking if status was more important than satisfying their client. The owner allows it and raises Jongha's level while changing the policy, and Jongha looks visibly uncomfortable. When Haeho was out of earshot, Jinju asked the owner why she did that to her, and the owner asked back, "Shouldn't you reflect why the client didn't choose you?" And Jinju stormed off. So embarrassing. While Jongha is focusing on doing Haeho's makeup, Haeho asks if she wants to know more about Heejun. She says no because she knows enough about him since she has been his fan. Haeho says that she must like him more now that she has met him, and she agrees, but she's trying not to develop feelings for him because when fantasy and reality clash, it can be a huge mess. Haeho says he would love to see such a mess with Jongha, leaving Jongha stunned. Heejun meets up with Jongha at the salon for a business meeting about work for his grandpa. She suggests that grandpa should be a model, which Heejun seemed apprehensive about, but said he'll talk it over with his grandpa. Heejun and Boss Lady meet and they talk about Heejun's career so far. Boss Lady says the path he chose was quite good, and him becoming an A-list star will get him money and success. but he says that being successful isn't everything and that it's better to enjoy your day-to-day. She states that unless you're born of money, you'll stay poor for the rest of your life, and most don't realize this until they're over 30. She tells him he shouldn't give up until all doors are closed. He says he can get started when he comes back from the military, but she says, who will remember you in 18 months when they can barely know who you are now? Hard truths, yo. We're back at the end of the last episode when he asks Jong-ha to cut his hair for the military. Jong-ha convinces Heejun to wait some time before cutting his hair. As Heejun leaves, he questions if Jong-ha is actually Haeho's fan and states that he hates liars, and she concedes that she is in fact his fan awkwardly. He leaves grinning and she remains embarrassed. It cuts to Heejun asking his grandpa if he wants to be a model, and grandpa, not missing a beat, says of course and starts runway walking and posing. Looking at his grandpa in a different light, Heejun signs him up for modeling classes. Heejun and Boss Lady meet up and she gives him a job. It's the same show he auditioned for, but a different role that's quite memorable. Looking through the script, he was transfixed and started making notes. The episode ends with Heejun telling his dad that he'll defer his military enlistment to pursue this role. Alright guys, now time for the review. Like I did before, I'm going to talk about the dislikes and then leave on positive note talking about what I did like. For the dislikes, in this episode, I don't feel like there was a lot that I disliked. I feel like the quote-unquote villains like Jinju and that CEO from that agency Heejun was at, they were kind of quiet. There's only one huge dislike that I had, and that was with Haeho. He went to Jong-ha's salon to to get his makeup done before like some sort of gig, I don't know, some modeling thing. And then he couldn't read the situation. So Jong-ha's an assistant, right? So Jinju is above her. I think she's like right under the CEO. Like she is good at her job, allegedly. She has a lot of experience. But then Haeho was all like,
I want Jong-ha to do my makeup. I want Jong-ha to do my makeup. And you better make her do my makeup.
He made the CEO, how do I even say this? He just kind of bullied his way into getting Jong-ha to do his makeup. Jong-ha just looks so uncomfortable. He already knows that Jong-ha and Jinju have there's tension. There's literally tension in the salon, and he's all like,
but I want Jong-ha to do it.
He's really trying to be like the knight in shining armor. Calm down. But in terms of things that I didn't like, that was the highlight point. That was the part where I wish he could just read the room. Whatever. He won. For the things that I do like, I really enjoyed that they met up at Heejun and Jong-ha met up at a bookstore, and that bookstore was so big. I was so excited. I actually kind of want to go to it one day because that was amazing. Okay, something that you should know about me is that I really love bookstores a lot. I don't buy enough. I bought way too many journals that I never wrote in, but I like going into a good bookstore. Growing up, my mom, I remember, I think it was 13, 14, she would just drop me off at Chapters or Indigo, bookstore here in Canada, and she would just leave me there and go to work during the summer, and I would just enjoy my time reading manga, reading romance, because a girl loves her romance, and I was just having a good old time. I was okay by myself reading books, so them meeting there was just heaven on earth for 2 seconds, okay? Oh my gosh, when Heejun and Jong-ha met up, my heart was serotonin flooding my body. I'm sorry, I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to be normal. I'm trying to be okay. I just loved hearing their conversations. I loved hearing Jong-ha talking about her past working at an office place, and her talking about when her superior started saying back in my day, and then they were bonding over that. I also loved learning about what's his name? Heejun. I love learning about Heejun talking about he's only been in 2 serious relationships, and that happened to be with the same girl. So dude's loyal. I was born in the year of the dog, so I'm loyal too. So Heejun and I should totally meet up. Okay, I'm calm. I'm calm. And then when they went to the bus stop, the whole Katara scene, except more romantic, because the Katara, like the actual Katara scene when she like holds the water, the rain droplets, was more like she was trying to get back at the guy that killed her mother. So I just loved it. It was so pretty. That was such an amazing shot. Like, whoever did that, love you. Ooh, I really enjoyed, okay, it's not so much I enjoyed it, but I could relate. I had serious secondhand embarrassment when Jongha was giving a presentation to Heejun about letting his grandpa do modeling. But when she was trying to get to that PowerPoint presentation, she kept showing videos of Heejun doing his thing on the walkway, like he's modeling, and he's just all like,
that looks kind of sus.
super funny. Okay, another thing that I found like interesting was when Boss Lady met up with Heejun and just dropped the script for him at a cafe, and he was all like,
aren't you gonna try to convince me to do it?
And she's like,
no, read it.
And then leaves. She just leaves like, boss! Previously, I really did like Heejun and Boss Lady's conversation about his career. I thought it was very important. I thought what she said about Heejun, like, because Heejun was saying like once he's done his military, he's going to go right back into it, trying to get back into acting. And she was like,
why would anyone call you after 8 months when they barely know who you are right now?
That was a lot, but like it was very important for her to say, and I think it struck a chord with him because he was like, oh. That is all of my thoughts for episode 3. See me soon with episode 4. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of filming this week. I'm gonna try to catch up as quickly as I can, but yeah, oh my gosh. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you have a great day.